Yeah,
Yep.
great. We've been having issues with Facebook account. Facebook is just a maze of stupidity, to be honest with you. So sometimes things don't work or what have you. So, but regardless, we're recording this, so we'll post it. If we can't go live or something happens, we'll post it later. So
Okay.
just for that reason. So let's see. It's pretty straightforward, as I put it in my agenda. So if you want to go get a glass of water or a bottle of water, Pavlina, or a bathroom or coffee, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. So you can put okay for meeting being recorded. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I found on that tripod
Yeah,
positions. So
perfect. You look
okay,
wonderful. Yes.
thank you. So let's
So
start. Let's start.
yes. Well,
I
you
just want to make sure that my phone, the battery doesn't, you
doesn't
know,
die.
doesn't die. Zoom is exhausting a lot the battery. So
Ah, I didn't even know that.
well, I
I'm
was.
on my computer, so the battery lasts a long time. I mean, we can start earlier,
Yes,
Candy.
absolutely. Let's start it. What is it to wait for?
Okay, I'm gonna press go live. One sec.
And who is the charming lady that I'm hearing her voice?
Uh, This is Candy Yang. She actually was our competition coordinator.
Wonderful. Nice
She
to meet
worked. Yes, she's been my right hand for competition since November. And we just announced that we won't be doing any more competitions. So Candy is helping in other areas
you.
as
Good.
well. She's a violist, doctorate candidate at MSM.
Wonderful. Nice to
Yes.
meet you, Candy. Okay, let's get going.
Sorry, just 1 second. One minute, I'm refreshing the page.
Any issues, Candy?
Yeah, it's the live is working now. Yes.
So we're ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Welcome to Anselmo Academy of Music and the Arts. We're live on Facebook and sending everyone greetings from New York. Today we present esteemed pianist and educator Pavlina Dokovska, who I know almost 30 years. Welcome, Pavlina.
Thank you.
We will be sharing our guest bio, photos, videos, and a dialogue shortly, and in just a few minutes. But before that, we have some brief announcements. Our spring enrollment is open for private lessons and group classes at multiple local schools, and we offer lessons and classes throughout New York and New Jersey. Please connect with us at our website, anselmoacademy.org. Thank you so much for that flyer. Anselmo's 7 music competition had over 30 prize winners this year who perform at Winners Concert on March 30th at Steinway Hall in New York City. And we have also created special award winners concert on April 6th, which is tomorrow at the Church of Christ and St. Stephen's on the Upper West Side. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you'd like to attend, please connect with us. We also have today and tomorrow what we call student showcases. It's an annual celebratory type event, an opportunity for many students to come and perform, where it's kind of like a mix of our own students from everywhere in New York and New Jersey to some guest students with guest teachers who come and perform as well. So we're very much looking forward to these events this weekend. Anselmo Academy is a nonprofit 501c3 organization founded in 2001, and we specialize in organizing group type classes, instruction at local schools, community centers, and more to bring joy of music to many children and adults. Our programs vary from general music education to small group classes in piano, guitar, violin, musical theater, voice, choir, and more. And if you'd like to learn more about our activities, please follow us on social media and also subscribe to our 2 free e-newsletters that you could find at our homepage at anselmoacademy.org. First is called Academy Newsletter, and the second one is called On Stage, where not only we list events from the Academy, but also appearances like this one today from well-known esteemed musicians from around the world who share their musical journey. We hope you enjoy our program today. Can we please have Pavlina's profile picture on the screen as I go through her bio? Wonderful. Pavlina Dokovska is a Bulgarian-born concert pianist, internationally acclaimed pianist, pedagogue, and ambassador, what I'd like to think of you, Pavlina, for music, arts, and culture. She received her initial music education in Bulgaria, where she was a student of Lydia Kuteva at the Music High School in Sofia. She obtained her bachelor of music degree from the National Academy of Music in Sofia, working with Julia and Konstantin Ganev, who were students of the legendary Henrik Niehaus. As a recipient of the French government scholarship, she spent summer studying with Ivan Lefebvre in Paris. And then Ms. Dokovska moved to New York and obtained her Master of Music degree from the Juilliard School as Fulbright Scholar and a student of Barrett Webster. Pavlina Dokovska is the founder and artistic director of the Manna Sounds Festival. We'll hear more about that, and Southwest Virginia Festival for the Arts. She's first prize winner of Claude Debussy International Piano Competition in France and Italy's International Piano Competition of Senigalia. She's gained worldwide recognition touring Europe, the Far East, and the Americas, receiving enthusiastic critical acclaim. Known for her insightful and caring teaching methods, have produced many well-rounded artist. Ms. Dokovska is the chair of the piano department at Mannes School of Music in New York City since 1998. Pavlina has performed as a recitalist soloist with orchestra and chamber musician at some of the most prestigious halls, such as David Geffen Hall at Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, Weill Hall, Frick Museum, Merkin Hall, National Gallery in Washington, D.C., Gardner Museum in Boston, Berlin Radio Hall, Wigmar Hall, and many more from Munich to Bucharest to Prague to Paris to Milan to Vienna, Luxembourg, Taipei, Tokyo, National Center of the Arts in Beijing, and numerous concert venues in her native Bulgaria. Festival performances and teaching affiliations include the Salzburg Festival in Austria, My Musical Bordeaux in France, Spoleto Festival in Italy, Liszt Festival in Princeton, New Jersey, Prague Autumn Festival in Czech Republic, and the list is very long. We'll post the bio in the comments, but she participated in various festivals in Germany, in Bulgaria, in China, in Wisconsin, New York, Italy, and Israel, among others. Ms. Dokovska has adjudicated many competitions, including Hilton Head, Cleveland International, William Capell, Iowa Piano Competition, Piano Arts, North American Competition in Wisconsin, International Institute for Young Musicians, International Competition in Kansas, Rosalind Turek International Bach Competition in New York, and many more. She's an avid chamber musician, and she has collaborated in recitals with the great Bulgarian basso, Nikolai Guarov, soprano Stevka Evstafteva and Krasimira Stoyanova, basso Mikhail Svetlov, violinist Robert McDuffie, and cellist Natalia Rosen. As a recording artist, she can be heard on multiple record label companies such as Gegen RCA, Koch International, Naxos, and many others. Her affinity for French music is evident in many of her recordings, including CD Les Six, produced by Koch One label, which was listed as New York Times Critics' Choice. Wonderful. Our next video, by the way, the first video we played was excerpt from Debussy Fireworks. Our next video is a pre-recorded lesson with a student that Ms. Dokovska had at her home, featuring Beethoven Sonata Opus 2 number 3, first movement. Take a look.
Something, we never do it through fear. Trying to build the confidence, taking a chance, and gradually working for liberating this motif from any tension, getting the precision, but without the fear. Otherwise, we will never get it. Try it again. That's much better. Changing the color so that we spoke about this. The second time is slightly different. And now we repeat the question. Try again. Okay, now let's try to pick up a little bit of tempo. Rely on your bow. That's right. Let's get it there.
Do I connect this entire?
Yes. That's yes. Close to the keys. Yes. Better. Borrow the key. Release. Don't rush it.
Is it because I'm afraid of it?
You're afraid of it? Also, it is difficult. We don't have enough agility. And you need to work for getting to the bottom of the key and developing this agility. But it can happen only if you release any tension. Yeah, why so? Speak it. Just the left hand. Yeah. Okay, let's do this voice. Release. Yeah, really good. Okay, now add this. Without blaming, now I'll give you a little drill. Now opposite. Supple wrist. Again from the forefinger. Yes. Let me hear this. Let me hear this in 40. A little bit more supple. Let me hear only this voice now. Yeah. Only this voice. Pick up a little bit the tempo. Free body. Yeah, I want to hear it many times. Totally without being self-conscious about it. Like it's the easiest thing in your life. Keep doing it. No. Just this motif. Like if you...
Thank you, Pavlina. We're now moving on to the dialogue portion of our event. So prepared some questions and let's begin. Welcome again, Pavlina Dokovska. Tell us a little bit about your administrative side and your role at Manus, where you have been the head of the piano department for almost 30 years. I know you deeply care about all of the events, all of the projects. So tell us more about that.
First of all, I do not think of my work connected with so-called administration as administrative work. It's a creative work. It's a work which came from my understanding, deep understanding, and sense of mission to provide for our students and for our faculty the opportunity to present their students as at many different prestigious concert venues in New York. I believe that since students usually perform at school, every student performs at school, it's a very different performing muscle which you develop when you perform outside. And a mission of a conservatory is to provide this opportunity so that we build confidence on stage, which is a professional stage. Sometimes school is too familiar. It is not considered like, well, it's a concert stage. Yes, Mena Sounds Festival, which I created in 1999, presents students also at school. But we have about 30 events all over the city and on campus. And therefore, there is a lot of different varieties. We started with Chopin at Menace Festival, which for the first time in the United States presented all the works of Chopin, not only piano works, everything, songs, chamber music. And then we did big Bach Festival, then La Belle Époque, Schumann's and their Circle. And at some point, I decided to actually bring even more variety so that every single festival event has its own title, its own topic. It makes my work more difficult, but it brings a lot more variety. And at that point, the festival was called Mena Sounds Festival because it brought varieties of topics versus having, let's say, the rise of modernism, which was concentrated on a particular topic, or all Chopin Festival, or all Liszt Festival, when we were celebrating the anniversary of Liszt. I think that these projects, which are highly artistic projects, for me, were very inspiring, very challenging, but very creative. And they became tremendous motivation for faculty and students, and developed a huge bond, not only that I present pianists, but I present students from all departments. When the College of Performing Arts at the New School was formed, and the College of Performing Arts is 3 schools, Manus, School of Drama, and the School of Jazz, we started bringing together students from all these schools, and the varieties and the abilities of our MENA students to work with students of the School of Jazz and School of Drama became extremely nurturing and produced phenomenal events, very, very exciting events. So in fact, we also have had collaborations with Parsons. Very most recent one was the project of Cinderella, the story of Cinderella through the centuries. And we had actors, we had Menace composers, young composers who wrote inspired by the story of Cinderella. We had naturally musicians, and we had students from Parsons who created illustrations. And there was a wonderful PowerPoint presentation which showed fantastic illustrations produced by Parsons School. As you know, it's one of the most famous schools in the world. And not only that, we had costumes created by Parsons. So the idea of bringing the arts together in all different forms is not new to the world. When we think about, for example, the time of La Belle Époque, when we think of the time of Impressionism, when music and poetry and visual arts were all mingled together. Verlaine, in his poem, speaks about musique avant toute chose, music above all. Gauguin spoke about paintings as symphonies. We know how much Ravel, Debussy were influenced by Impressionist painters. Monet speaks about the profound influence on Debussy on him. So this, which also was evident in the time of Romanticism, when we think about E.T.A. Hoffmann and his influence on Schumann and Brahms, to mention only the Romantic era, E.T.A. Hoffmann had influence on many creative people, including Hitchcock and Edgar Allan Poe. But always great artists have had broad horizons. And we want to teach our young musicians that in order to create great art, they have to be extremely well informed. Not only they have to understand the world of the composer and make the same emotional and intellectual journey as the composer did, they have to understand their world. And to understand their world, they have to know history. They have to know the aesthetics of the time. There is a lot of knowledge which needs to be absorbed in order to be great. And I'm also very proud that Mena Sounds Festival also produced in the last year several operas. We did Monteverdi Popeyes, and the most recent one, just a few days ago, was a phenomenal, magical production of the D-Book by Ofer Ben-Amotz, composer. It was directed by Stephen Brown-Fried. Our Popeye production, Monteverdi, was, and also Gluck's Orfeo was directed by Bill Gustafson, all directors from Manus. So we have many interesting events. The Gilded Age of Spain, which brought drama and music of the era. Reimagining Faust, which brought the topic of Faust through compositions of different periods and through playwrights, poets of different eras. So these are very educational experience for all of us, for students, for me, for the audience, for the teachers, for everyone. We need education on the highest possible level, and we have to keep being educated throughout our lives.
Can you tell us a little bit about upcoming events, maybe, whether it's through Manus or outside of Manus? I know you have other engagements.
Only the last week we had some extraordinary events. We had at Scandinavia House an event dedicated to Alkan and curated by one of our board members, who is phenomenally well informed, self-taught music scholar. And it was a revelation for many people who did not know much about Alkan, a contemporary of Chopin and Liszt, one of the great composers and one of the great pianists of the time. We had yesterday an event which was about the exploration of American opera. So we had a lot of opera arias. We also had some instrumental pieces by American composers. The evening before, on the 2nd of April, we had at the Union Club a charming event. This was the 25th anniversary since our first performance at this extraordinary salon of the first private club in New York, the Union Club. And the title was Shall We Dance? And we start with from the musical Shall We Dance, and featured music, classical music inspired by dance. So we have had about, as I said, 30 events. The last event is on May 5th, and it's the festival finale, which is a potpourri of great chamber music, solo works, vocal works, etc. The list of presentation that we have had is really quite inspiring and very interesting. We had Shakespeare and music at the House of the Redeemer, a very special venue. We have had last year Africa Unite, featuring artwork and photography. This was curated co-curated by one of our patrons, who is a great art collector, and Isabel Wilcox. And you know, the topics of this event, it's absolutely enormous. So the list is very long.
Wonderful, thank you. Next question. So what should young musicians care about in today's world?
Today's world is complicated, and but I think that each era is complicated for different reasons. Young musicians have to know everything they could possibly know about music. They have to love music passionately. If they want to pursue music, they have to be absolutely passionate and dedicate. It is something that if you cannot live without, you don't pursue. This is a very, very profound need. And if we look into the life of the great painter Gauguin, who had a very comfortable business life in Paris, but his need to paint was so profound, he left everything. He just left everything and chose poverty. He did not care. He had to paint. And we know many stories of great artists who, of the past, whose life depended on this inspiration. They could not live without it. And I think that young musicians today have to make a choice. Can they live without it? And if the answer is yes, then they should not do it. We have the artists today also have to realize that the music education in public schools and in general is much less than it has been. So the musicians who come out from conservatories, they have to be real spokesmen and educators. You're not only an artist who goes on stage, performs. You have to spread the word of music. You have to, as you mentioned about your mission, you have to cultivate interest. You have to go to schools. You have to be able to talk about music. You have to be spokesman for the greatness of art and music. So I would say that in addition to hard work with your instrument, hard work in accumulating your own knowledge about what you're doing, you have to be ready to communicate on many different levels with your audience. You have to create your audience also. And the ways we now can communicate, the use of computer and social media allows the artist to do self-promotion, to be more entrepreneurial. And entrepreneurship is very, very important when you also choose to study music, because you have to be able to self-promote. You have to be able to create your audience. You have to be able to share in many, many different ways, not only on stage. We owe it to music. We owe it to the great composers who have written music and who are writing music. we have to also spread the great music which is written today. We, as Debussy said, the era of airplanes, this is when the airplanes were built for the first time. Debussy said the era of airplanes requires new music, and since there are no precedents, I would create one. So in our work, we have to respond to the changes and accept the best of it. We can dismiss those creations which we find that they're not adequate and they do not represent quality, but there is a work that represents quality. Also, when we think about the past, look at Mozart, look at Beethoven, Chopin, Liszt. They were all great composers, but they were also great improvisers. They played different instruments. They were also presenting themselves. The institution artist management was created in the beginning of the 20th century. Yes, they were presenting, some presenters in the 19th century, 18th century, they were private. But when we think about Mendelssohn, who created festivals, when we think about Clara Schumann, she was managing her own concerts. So we can learn from that. And we can bring this into educating our students. So, for example, I know that other schools do it too, but Manus does have a very interesting and very and required course of entrepreneurship, because this has to be taught, and you have to spread your wings. You have to think big. You cannot wait to be discovered. So I think that when you have passion for what you do, you find your way. If the passion is strong, you find your way. And this is the driving force. The belief that you can say something of importance. You can pass the message of the composer, but also the belief that you have to educate the future audiences. It's just very important for our young musicians to understand the educating part of our mission.
Wonderful. Next question. About your past, tell us a little bit. What do you miss the most?
I miss my parents. I had extraordinary grandparents and parents. And I was very lucky to have extraordinary teachers. And whether this was Lydia Kuteva, you mentioned, Julian Konstantin Ganev, who passed on their knowledge obtained from Heinrich Neuhaus. Beveridge Webster, who was a French product, he studied with Isidore Philippe. I had a tremendous luck to work and perform with some of the, you mentioned Nikolai Gyarov. I performed with him. I recorded, he was one of the greatest bassos in the world, one of the greatest singers of all times. Mirella Freni, the soprano, his wife. You mentioned Krasimira Stoyanova, Stefka Evstatieva. As Chopin said, don't listen to pianists, listen to great singers. I had that luck from my young age to be exposed to phenomenal singers, legendary singers. And I learned a lot from them, and I miss them. However, I have to say that love is something that never leaves you, because the memories keep nurturing you. And if love is very strong, people who you have lost live with you and they keep nurturing you. I keep learning from my experiences of the past. I keep learning from the great people I meet today. And I think that it is important for all of us till the rest of our lives to have role models. We need role models. And we constantly need to aim higher. If we think that we know it all, we are finished. So the knowledge is vast and life is short. So we should be in a hurry because there is a lot to learn. And we also learn as a teacher, as an educator, I learn from my work with the students because each student represents a unique world. And through teaching, you learn. And I think that I have been blessed to have at Manus Conservatory and also in my teaching on a high level and international festivals, very special talents who have students who have become prominent artists, and I'm very proud of them, and I am very happy that our work together has produced wonderful results. But it is about giving. It's not about taking. You have to give. And there is a beauty about it, and you gain a lot from giving. And I think that sooner we learn that, better the world will become. I have been involved with being a proud Bulgarian. I've been involved with Bulgarian young musicians since I established myself here. And this year at Wild Hall, we're going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the musical Treasures from Bulgaria. They're concerts which I started in 1995, together with St. Cyril and St. Methodius Foundation in Bulgaria, which has been sponsoring young musicians to come to study here. So this is 30 years. And as a result of that, I was able to start a piano campaign for the Bulgarian consulate. And we were able to get a wonderful Steinway B for the Bulgarian consulate. And 20 years ago, we established Bulgarian concert evenings in New York. My mission was to give the opportunity of the younger generation of Bulgarians to create their own organization. And this organization has been extremely successful, also thanks to American Foundation for Bulgaria. And this is the 20th anniversary. So a lot is going on. And speaking of pianos, I have been raising money for new pianos at Manus, and I'm very proud to say that Manus School of Music is now the only New York conservatory to receive the designation of Old Steinway School. We brought 55 new instruments from Steinway and we'll keep bringing more. Last year, we celebrated, actually this was the opening event of the 25th anniversary of Manus Sounds Festival, and a celebration of this designation. Great milestone. Manus is a phenomenal school.
Fantastic. Pavlina, we're moving on to a picture gallery where you sent us pictures and we'll have a slideshow, and please tell us a little bit about each one. Go ahead.
Well, this was a performance at Wild Hall. Self-explanatory. So, yeah, this is from there. Yes. Oh, this was, before COVID, we were getting together and we had very interesting gatherings of piano students. We were discussing very interesting topics. We were celebrating birthdays. This was somebody's birthday. I'm holding a cake there. And my colleague, Vladimir Valerovich, also, I share some students with him, and he has his own students. So this was a fantastic celebration. We love celebrating this is like a family. This is my family. So great students and great occasions. Now, this is at the National Performing Arts Center in Beijing, where a lot of prominent musicians were performing, and you can see there Professor Lowenthal, and I think Ursula Oppens, and Alexander Motuskin, and Angelina Gadelian, Vladimir Valerovich, and J.Y. Song, I believe, is there. There are some Chinese colleagues, the artistic director and founder Ming Fong. I cannot see the picture fully now because I see a sign, but this was an extraordinary event, and these are annual events. Yeah, Angelina Gadelia, who is a former student of mine too, who is now heading the keyboard department at Storrs, University of Connecticut. So this is the picture. We had a great time. We even played works for 2 pianos and 8 hands. So last year we presented works for 4 pianos. These are a lot of fun, interesting, and inspiring events. Yes, this is a festival.
Great picture. It's a great picture. Great picture.
This is the final concert of one of the festivals, I believe 2021 or 2022 at Wild Recital Hall. Usually at these concerts, not only that, many concerts of many sounds, we present many people, and chamber music, vocal music, piano solo, different solos. So it was a great celebration. So yes, long live Manor Sounds Festival. We're in the 26th year.
Fantastic.
And this photograph was from a performance of mine in China. It could have been in the city of Nanjing. I have played in different cities, but this is a photograph which I like because also I love China. I love being in China. I love my Chinese students, and I love my Chinese colleagues. The classical music is blossoming in China, and the concert halls, the audiences, they're all phenomenal. And we see many young people in the audiences, and this is very striking and very, very impressive. So I think that this smile shows a lot how I feel about, not only about music, not only about sharing music, but about my feelings for China and the Chinese audience.
Stick.
Well, here it is. This is the Bethany Rose from Steinway & Sons, handing the executive dean of the College of Performing Arts and Dean of Manus Richard Kessler, and myself, the plaque with Manus being an old Steinway school. So I have one of those in my home, in my living room.
Beautiful. And we have one more video to share, which is Shostakovich Concertino, and for two pianos performed by Pavlina and Vladimir Valyarovich. Take a look. Oh, Pavlina, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm in awe of your enthusiasm and your passion. And, I want to be as close to you as possible to just steal a little bit of your energy. And thank you so much for sharing your path and your dedication to the world of music and culture. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching and tuning in. We also wanted to wish those students who are going on spring break a lovely vacation and happy holidays, upcoming holidays to many of you around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.